Imagine waking up one morning and something's off. You can't quite put your finger on it. The birds are chirping, the traffic is humming, your coffee machine is gurgling away. Everything sounds normal, but it isn't. The gaps are gone. The pauses, the moments of quiet contemplation, the brief, beautiful peace between sounds, it's all vanished. This isn't just your house. It's your street, your city, your entire country. An unsettling, continuous, low-level hum has replaced every pocket of silence. News channels are in a frenzy. Reports are flooding in from every corner of the nation. Panic is starting to bubble to the surface. People are getting irritable, disoriented. Experts are baffled. How can you steal something that isn't there? How do you steal silence? This is the impossible crime that has brought the world to its knees. An entire nation's silence, held hostage. And behind this audacious act is a group so elusive, so skilled, they're more myth than reality. They call themselves the Phantoms. This isn't your typical smash and grab crew. They're artists, specialists, the best in the world at what they do. And their leader, the enigmatic figure known only as the Maestro, is the mastermind orchestrating this grand, terrifying symphony. For weeks, maybe months, they moved like ghosts among us, unseen and unheard. Now, through a series of anonymous, encrypted leaks, the world is finally getting a glimpse into how they pulled it off. Let's rewind. The planning was an obsession, a work of fanatical precision. In a hidden, state-of-the-art facility, the Maestro stands before a holographic map of the nation. Every city, every town, every remote village is marked with a glowing node. This wasn't about stealing a jewel or a painting. This was about capturing an intangible concept. The Phantoms tech team, led by a genius known as Echo, developed a revolutionary technology. They created a network of thousands of microscopic acoustic resonators, no bigger than a grain of dust. These weren't designed to record sound, but to do the opposite. They were designed to identify, isolate, and capture the absence of sound. Think of it like this: they created a sonic vacuum. These resonators were dispersed across the country through a variety of ingenious methods. Some were mixed into the water supply, others released into the atmosphere like pollen, and some were even embedded in the very asphalt of the roads. They were completely harmless, completely undetectable. The team's infiltrator, a master of disguise codenamed Chameleon, spent months placing larger anchor devices in key locations: the quietest libraries, the deepest subway tunnels, the most remote mountain peaks. Each location was a strategic point in their acoustic grid. The team worked with the discipline of a special forces unit and the creativity of a world-class orchestra. Each member was a virtuoso in their field, from the daredevil pilot Zephyr to the master hacker Cypher. Then came the night of the heist, the activation. In their mobile command center, a repurposed cargo plane flying high above the stratosphere, the Maestro raised his hands, not like a thief, but like a conductor about to begin a performance. At his signal, Cypher initiated the sequence. Across the nation, the network of resonators went live. They began to absorb the silence, channeling it through the anchor points into a massive, quantum-level containment field aboard their plane. On the ground, the effect was subtle at first, a background hum that you might dismiss as tinnitus. But it grew, a constant, low-frequency drone that filled every void. The serene peace of a sleeping countryside was replaced by a persistent, unnerving thrum. The quiet reverence of a cathedral was violated by a sound that had no source. The world wasn't just louder, it had forgotten how to be quiet. The silence of an entire country was now stored in a glowing, pulsating orb at the heart of the Phantom's flying fortress. The global reaction is pure chaos. Productivity plummets as people struggle to focus. Hospitals report a massive spike in anxiety disorders and insomnia. The constant, low-level noise is a form of psychological torture, and the nation is cracking under the strain. World leaders are in emergency sessions, but they're powerless. How do you negotiate for the return of silence? What are the demands? The Phantoms remain, true to their name, completely silent. The leak of their methods was a deliberate act of theatricality, a way to show the world the sheer brilliance and audacity of their crime. They didn't just steal something, they redefined what was possible to steal. The world isn't just dealing with a crisis, it's grappling with a philosophical nightmare. In the eye of the storm, the president takes to the airwaves. His face is grim, his voice heavy with the weight of a nation on the brink. Standing before a backdrop of national flags, he delivers a speech that is broadcast on every channel, every screen, his voice competing with the ever-present hum. He speaks of resilience, of unity, but his message is clear and uncompromising. To the individuals who call themselves the Phantoms, he declares, his voice cutting through the noise, you have committed a crime not against property, but against the human spirit. You have stolen our peace, our clarity, our very sanity. There will be no negotiations. There will be no deals. We will hunt you down. We will find you, and you will face the full force of justice. It's a declaration of war. The president's speech is the starting gun. Immediately, an unprecedented manhunt is launched. Global intelligence agencies share data, deploying every satellite, every drone, every asset they have. They get a lucky break, a faint energy signature from the Phantom's plane as it briefly drops altitude. Instantly, elite tactical teams are mobilized. The chase is on. What follows is not just a pursuit, it's a breathtaking ballet of chaos and control, captured in stunning, hyper-realistic 8K that makes you feel like you're right there. The Phantoms, expecting this, dive towards the neon-drenched canyons of the capital city. Their massive cargo plane, now revealed to be a marvel of aerospace engineering, deploys a series of smaller, sleeker stealth vehicles. The team splits up. We follow the maestro, now piloting a gravity-defying hoverbike. He weaves through skyscrapers with impossible grace, the city lights blurring into streaks of color. Helicopters swarm the sky like angry wasps, their searchlights cutting through the urban darkness. The maestro is a blur of motion, executing maneuvers that defy physics. He drops into a crowded market, the bike hovering inches above the ground, scattering crates of fruit and sending people diving for cover. Authorities on foot are closing in, but is always one step ahead. Then, he goes vertical. The bike's thrusters flare, and he rockets up the side of a glass skyscraper, the city shrinking below him. The camera work is majestic, capturing the sheer scale and intensity of the moment. We see the reflection of the chasing helicopters in the glass just before he smashes through a window into a darkened office floor. He doesn't slow down, racing through the empty cubicles, shattering glass partitions as he goes. On the other side of the building, he bursts out into the night air again, this time with a squadron of advanced military drones hot on his tail. Lasers slice through the air around him. The chase moves to the rooftops. The maestro is a park-hour artist on machine, leaping from one building to the next across impossibly wide gaps. The city becomes his playground. The other Phantoms are engaged in their own desperate, brilliant escapes across the city, a high-speed boat chase in the industrial canals, a high-tech cat and mouse game in the subway system. Every frame is a masterpiece of action cinematography, a relentless, heart-pounding spectacle of skill and technology. Against all odds, the Phantoms achieve the impossible once again. One by one, they slip through the net. The maestro, in a final act of defiance, pilots his hoverbike straight towards the lead military helicopter. For a moment, a collision seems inevitable. But at the last second, a cloaking device engages, and his bike simply vanishes into thin air, leaving the helicopter to swerve violently, its crew staring into the empty space where he used to be. The Phantoms have escaped. They've dissolved back into the shadows, leaving behind a bewildered and furious military and a world still reeling from their initial crime. The authorities have nothing but a few minutes of spectacular chase footage and the lingering, maddening hum in the ears of millions. The chase is over, but the story is far from finished. The nation remains trapped in a world without quiet. The psychological toll continues to mount. The economy is in freefall. The government, having failed to capture the culprits, looks weak and ineffective. The world is left to grapple with the consequences, and more importantly, the question, why? Why steal silence? What could possibly be the motive for a crime so bizarre, so universally disruptive? There were no ransom notes, no political demands, just the act itself. In the final scene, we find our answer, or at least a hint of it. We are high above the chaos, on the balcony of a secluded, minimalist penthouse overlooking the frenetic, noisy city. The maestro stands alone, without his gear, without his team. He's just a man in a simple dark suit, looking out at the world he has thrown into turmoil. The stolen silence, that glowing orb of pure quiet, hovers gently in the room behind him, pulsing with a soft, peaceful light. It's the only place on the continent where true silence exists. He is not celebrating. There is no look of triumph on his face. Instead, his expression is thoughtful, melancholic, almost sad. He watches the unceasing flow of traffic, the frantic energy of a city that can no longer rest. A single tear traces a path down his cheek. The heist wasn't an act of greed or malice. It was a statement. A lesson. A desperate, shocking attempt to make a world that has forgotten how to listen finally pay attention. But to what? The screen fades to black, leaving us with that haunting question and the faint, persistent hum in our ears. Thanks for watching. If you were as captivated by this story as I was, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what comes next.